Space Junk. A Copper Frog Story. Kira sucked in a breath of purified ozone as the shuttle hatch opened. Rising tides had erased more of Earth's coastline since her last visit into low orbit, and the solar blocking agents colored the sky in sepia tones. Looks like puke. They trashed the planet's surface and its atmosphere just like they're trashing its orbit, Bryce said over the shuttle radio. Window opens in 30. You ready, Kira? Shit, she muttered. Like you'd do anything different if I wasn't. Her heart rate accelerated to a trill. Riding inside the shuttle, it barely felt like it was moving. Only standing at the threshold did her perception register just how fast shit flew around the Earth. They've launched, Bryce said. Bird's heading up now. Wonder why it wasn't on the schedule. They were trying to slip it past us. Means we're making an impact. Bryce paused, switching channels. Windows open. Kira grinned and switched off her magnetic boots. Geronimo, bitches. She launched out of the shuttle doors, a single bound that vaulted over entire cities, rivers, and mountains. Superman, eat your fucking heart out. Although Kira technically wasn't jumping so much as falling, with some serious air brakes. She needed to reduce her speed enough to not get squashed on impact, while leaving her enough momentum to steer herself toward the target. Space jump was more art than science, and more roller coaster than art. A fuzzy shadow zoomed into her peripheral vision. The debris was moving too fast to identify it. By the time she saw it coming, it was already there. Shit! 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 She pinched the suit's thrusters, shifting her trajectory. The debris whizzed past her. Bryce shouted over the radio. What the hell was that? She chuckled as she caught her breath. Think I just saw Sputnik, y'all? The flight crew cracked up in the background, but she hadn't cut the tension with Bryce. That's why you look before you leap out here, kid. Earth can't even keep its own fucking windows clean these days. Used to be, they sent rockets up without windows or point defense lasers. Kira sighed as she hurtled through space. Here we go. We were supposed to get another can last month, but they canceled the launch because some old satellite broke apart. They keep shuffling more and more of us into the cans we've already got. If they keep dumping their shit in orbit like this, they won't even be able to get anything to space at all. And where does that leave us? Bunch of expired-ass sardines, Kira said as contrails crawled up the sky. Now would you keep it down? I got me a rocket to catch. The rocket barreled into view. An old cargo shuttle with a white hull and black fins. Its heat shields cracked golden brown like soy nuggets coming out of the air fryer. Kira's suit beeped, informing her that her trajectory was close enough to the shuttle that it wouldn't rip her in half if she grappled on. That was as far as their telemetry could take her. The rest required a human touch. She closed one eye as she lined up her shot, adjusting the angle to account for inertia and Earth's gravitational pull. Hold your breath. Count to 3. Fire! The magnetic harpoon clamped onto the hull with a satisfying click. She engaged the motorized winch to reel herself aboard. Nice work, Bryce said. Plant the tracker in the cargo bay. This is all pointless if the missile leaves cargo intact to bring back to Luna. Kira paused. Wait, missile? I thought we were stealing this shit. We don't have enough fuel to pull it out of low orbit. Besides, without a manifest, we don't know if the goods are worth the effort. Let me get this straight. You want to fight them putting junk in orbit by putting more junk in orbit? We cut into the shipping company's profits and they'll take us seriously. This one isn't about feeding the colonies, it's about making sure the ship bags on Earth get eaten. And of course, you tell me after I'm on the shuttle. Like you'd pass on a jump. She sighed and shook her head. Guess you got me there, boss. She paced, searching for soft spots. The shuttle wasn't particularly sturdy aside from the heat shields. They were designed to break apart in orbit while another ship brought the cargo to Luna. Kira wasn't ideological like Bryce. She preferred a thumping heart to a bleeding one. But even she could see his point. Earth didn't give a shit about anyone in space who wasn't living on Luna or Mars. Sure, they enjoyed having folks up here doing their pickups and refuels, but they didn't care how those folks got fed or housed. Maybe that was the real reason everyone called their colonies cans. To Earth, the people living inside were just more space junk in orbit. Something stirred beneath her. A crab-like robot shuffled into the hall and studied her with a cyclopean red eye. Company, Kira said. Point defense drone. Shit, they really want to protect this cargo. Kira crept toward the drone, real calm, hovering a hand over her side. No loud noises, no sudden moves. Like those old westerns where cowboys fought on top of a train, except this train was moving at 17,500 miles per hour. The drone slid out its Gauss rifle and Kira flipped off her magnetized boots, slacking her tether a few yards. She flew off the shuttle fast enough to avoid the drone's projectile. When she swung directly above, she melted a hole right into its head with her drilling laser. Kira whooped as she landed back in the hall. Fastest gun in the Van Allen belt. Alright, cowgirl. Windows closing. Plant the tracker and scram. Kira angled her drill over a patch where the heat shielding had grayed off. She cut a square hole big enough to fit through and flipped on her flashlight. Bright orange shipping containers filled the cargo hold, as if the company had pulled them right off the boat and stuck them on the shuttle. Pretty slapdash for a Luna run. Okay, I'm in, Kira said as she planted the tracker on the side of a container. Tracker's transmitting. Good, now get the hell out before we leave you with the space junk. Kira was about to do just that when something jostled the container. Hold up, I think there's another drone. Fighting in close quarters could fuck right off. Not enough room to maneuver. She tapped the drilling laser's tip against one of the container's latches. Her eyebrows furrowed as her flashlight illuminated its contents. The fuck? Racks of spacesuits were strapped to the sides. Full sets with helmets, oxygen tanks, and everything. It didn't make sense. They could have fit more suits disassembled, and why would they send spacesuits to Luna anyway? Suits were one of the few things they could make up here themselves. Kira's lungs puckered and her heart sank halfway into her gut when her gaze fell over one of the smaller spacesuits, and the stuffed bear clutched in its little hands. Fuck. Fuck, fuck! She scrambled at her transponder. Bryce, hold your fire, there's people in here! Then her heart sank the rest of the way when she heard no response. She launched herself toward the hole she'd carved in the hull to get a clear signal. Don't fire, there's people in here! A warbled message came in response. Bryce's faint voice punctuated by deafening pops of static. Kira, window's getting dirty. We lost your... Kira's gaze swiveled between the open space and the cargo containers. Refugees, probably hoping to escape the storms and bombings and get jobs cleaning Luna's apartments. Damn it, Bryce. I hope for once you're thinking about someone besides those shitbags on Earth. I don't want to die in a fucking can. She swung back inside and drilled open a passage to the shuttle control panel. Unmanned but functional. She flipped the radio on to Bryce's frequency, praying that the shuttle would have a stronger signal than her suit's dinky transmitter. Don't shoot! Kira! Window's closing. Running out of time, so had to. Hope you got out. I'm sorry. No! Listen, damn it! Tears welled around the corners of her eyes as she slammed on the control panel. There's people in here! There's people in here! A distant flash illuminated the control room. Kira watched in horror as a missile screamed toward them, unaware and indifferent to the lives of those aboard. Just more space junk left in orbit.